What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Darius Simpson. For those of you who don't know me, who are here for the first time, thank you for joining me. Um, One of the things in my life that I've experienced is what I call a lot of lessons, a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of mistakes. But I have learned, and I learned this from my father last year, as a matter of fact, is I need to reframe the past if I'm going to move forward and be successful. And so that was one of the most powerful, what I call wisdom nuggets that I've ever received. He said, reframe the past. Now, this channel is built on a program I'm working on, a coaching program, a transformational productive coaching program. I want to help people learn how to be successful or take the procrastination, because the principles work. Even if you don't work them, the principles will work. They're 100%, I would say in this sense, foolproof, because there are many people using these principles, whether you have a good set of core values or an evil set of core values. Now, obviously, they only work so far. If you're not doing the right thing, you're gonna have to look over your shoulders. You will get busted one day if you're doing some illegal activity, but you still can work the principles and have some level of success. So last week, my first video, and I'm actually going to do this here as part two because I actually didn't get to finish discussing what I wanted to share with you all. And first of all, thank y'all for joining me this morning. I know your time is valuable, or anytime, whenever you, at the time you're watching this video, thank you for taking out of your time to watch my channel. I hope you find a lot of value in it. My goal is to give nothing but value that people will be willing to pay for. If I was charging, so I value my time, therefore I value your time. I love me, therefore I love you. And so I want to help you. Anybody who's been struggling with procrastination, or maybe it's not procrastination, maybe you're lazy. You admittedly are a lazy person, but you don't want to be that way. You have not always been that way. You want to be positively productive. That's what this channel is about. I want to help inspire, motivate, and encourage people to go from procrastination or laziness or depression or stress or whatever into positive productivity. Positive productivity. Notice I said positive. Why? Because there's also negative actions that we actually take. So last week I talked about, the title of my video was I wasted years procrastinating until I learned this. And that was part one. So this is part two to complete that part of the video, or the lesson, if you will, discussion. Now, what is procrastination? I'm sorry. Let me go and tell you to do this too. Remember to hit that like button. If you enjoy the content on this video, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share this video, and set your notifications so you do not miss any of the content. My plan is to be on every Monday. I do set it up to come on right now. I'm not doing live. So right now I have my recording set to come on at 8, around 8 o'clock, 8:03 in the morning on Monday morning. So by the time you watch it, some of you maybe watch it at that time or later. Regardless, thank you for your time. Now, what is procrastination? I don't believe I said that last week or gave y'all the definition last week. So I have two definitions, both from the internet. One's from Wikipedia and others from kind of like a regular Google dictionary. The word procrastinate means to delay or postpone action, to put off doing something. Okay, again, let me say this: delay or postpone action, to put off doing something. The Wikipedia definition of the word procrastination is: it's the act of unnecessarily delaying or postponing something despite knowing that there could be negative consequences for doing so. Let me read that one more time, and we're going to discuss that. Procrastination is the act of unnecessarily delay or postponing something despite knowing that there could be negative consequences for doing so. So in other words, this is intentional. You keep putting off doing the laundry. You keep putting off preparing your meal plan for the week. You keep putting off exercising or starting a business or putting in applications for a new job, or get into that relationship, or making yourself findable so that you can potentially enter into a new relationship, a romantic relationship eventually. The reasons are endless. but to intentionally. This is what this talking about. You unnecessary delaying. What's the purpose for it? I'm lazy. I don't believe that I'm going to be able to do this thing, or I don't want to do this thing. I don't feel like doing it, so I'm not going to do it. Whatever is your motivation? Listen, y'all, we have one life to live. And one of the things that has really been settling in on me is that us having one life to live, we have to, or we should be more conscious that one day we will not be here. Some of you may think that you have forever to live. You may be in your early 20s, even some of you, your mid 30s. And you may be thinking, I have forever. So I can make my mistakes, or I can make my decisions, or I can put that off and I'll come back to it later. Some of you are older and you feel like time has run out, or you don't have enough time to do anything. So you're just going to kind of settle into the sunset, or you're going to try to make the best of your situation that you're in right now. See, I know what that's like. See, I grew up with what I call a wisdom spoon in my life. I was taught. I didn't have a silver spoon. We weren't rich financially. We were doing good. We were doing okay. But I had access to information. I had access to getting understanding. I had access to wisdom. Wisdom is application of the information that you understand. And so one of the things that had hurt me, I had success. I'm gonna point some out to y'all that y'all probably have never heard of. You probably won't even believe, but just let me finish it out. Let me talk to you about it, and I'll finish it out. And I'll do my best to make sure it's clear. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them down in the comment section for me. I grew up with a lot of information. If you see my library, it's not a huge library, but if you see the type of material that I read, or the books at least that I have, my number one book is the Bible, and that's what I'm basing my entire system on. That's what I'm basing everything on. But no, I'm not forcing my belief system on anybody, so you ain't got to worry about that. But I'm just letting you know where I'm coming from. So I was brought up in a loving home with two parents, my father and my mother, who not only taught but lived what they taught, and to me and my siblings. And so I learned about being successful. And whatever I put my mind to, my dad would always ask, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? He would always say, find your niche. And I involved myself, and I'll tell y'all a little bit more thoroughly in some of the other videos. But he talked about dreaming big, having a vision. Then he said, set up objectives, goals, and plans. I knew more than a lot of people. And I'm not saying this in a braggadocious type of way. I knew more than a lot of people at that time, twice my age, simply because of my upbringing. Not because I'm better than the next person or anything like that, so to speak. Now, I am better than some people. I ain't going to play that game and say I ain't no better. I am. But just be honest with yourselves. Ain't nothing wrong with you being honest. Just don't be prideful and arrogant about it. Some people have chosen not to be their best selves, and that's okay for them. It's not okay for me. It should be no longer okay for you. And I hope after listening to a number of these videos, you will develop that confidence and have that certainty. You actually can live the life you want to live. Hopefully that's a life that not only benefits you, but it benefits your loved ones and benefits society. But we can do it, y'all. You can do it. The only person that's stopping you is you. And so I grew up with what I call a wisdom spoon, and I actually still have it to this day. Very, very thankful and very grateful. More grateful and more thankful today than I ever was before. Because I was taught I can be successful at anything I put my mind to. I just have to decide, and then I have to commit to it. I have to discipline myself. I have to make a decision. I have to dedicate myself to it. I have to discipline myself to it. And there's a number of other steps you have to make if you want to be successful. If you want that dream car, that dream lifestyle, that dream relationship, to write your first book, to be the best employee you can be. I mean, the opportunities are endless unless you place that limitation on them. But if you decided, and procrastination, let me say this, procrastination itself is a problem, but it's not the cause of a problem. It's an effect. It's one of the effects. I mean, again, you may be at various levels, okay? There may be other issues because they all can, if like a spider web, they can all be connected to one another. While there's a central reason or a central cause as to why you have not achieved your objectives or your dreams or your visions. If you unnecessarily delay or postpone something, knowing with the foreknowledge that there can be consequences for doing so, then you absolutely have no cause to complain. I'm not talking about the things that are outside of your hands. I'm talking about the things that are within your hands. the things you can control, the things I can control. I have learned I do not blame anybody. I don't blame God, and I'm just being transparent with y'all. I've blamed God, I blamed the devil, and other times I blamed other people. Why I was not reaching my goals, why I was not as successful as I really wanted to be, as I believed and thought I could be, as I was taught and brought up to believe. But year after year after year, and once again, I was successful. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and tell y'all this. What if you knew that you have been successful all of your life? What if someone told you, I said that way, what if somebody told you that you have been successful all your life, just not in the things you should have been or always wanted to be? You say, Darius, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I have failed a lot. Exactly, that's my point. Well, Darius, what are you talking about? I know I've been very successful. I want to be even more successful. I've had some successes and I have some failures. That's my point. You have been successful at doing some of the right things, and you have been successful at doing some of the wrong things. That's exciting news. Because see, I don't want to help you stop, or whoever else you may listen to, your parents or another coach or whoever. I don't want to help you. I don't want you just to think about, I don't want to stop you from being successful. I want to help you change what you have been successful in. It's like taking a drug user, not user, but pusher, somebody who sells drugs. I don't want to take the salesman out of this drug seller. I just want to change his heart. I want to help him change his heart, change his mindset, and change his product. He can still sell. He can still be the best. He or she can still be the best version of themselves. Can be the best version of themselves. Changing their heart, changing their mindset, and changing their product. And if you do that, they'll change how they have affected the communities. Instead of destroying the communities, they will help build up the communities. And they will impact the communities, possibly for generations to come, for the better rather than for the worse. This works for any of us. All of us have been successful. We just have not all been successful at the level or in the way we should have or could have been. But today you can change that. All you have to do, once you become aware, all you have to do is make a decision and commit to it, and set up a strategy, or get somebody to coach you, hire a coach, or listen to your mentor. Get around some people who gonna help encourage and help bring the best of you out. And it's not gonna happen overnight, y'all. The decision can happen in an instant, but the process, the changes you want, that's gonna happen progressively over time. So you have to learn to be patient with yourself. But that's gonna be something we're gonna talk about more in the future. And that's what I want. I shared that with somebody in his mind. His eyes was like, why? His eyes were open like that. Why? Because that shifts you. See, I learned. That's how I learned. That's if you would, that's what I took away. Well, in a certain way. That's what I took away by reframing my past. I can actually look back at my past and instead of calling them failures, you know what I call them? When I've made mistakes, I now call them, I created lessons to learn from. That gives me more encouragement. That gives me a completely different view, a completely different perspective. And then I see that I'm able to build on something, build off of a solid foundation, and let my past challenges, my past lessons be stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. See, that changes your perspective. When that changes your point of view, now I am highly motivated and will be even more intentional in the things that I do, in the decisions I make, in the words that I say, and in the activities that I become a part of. Why? Because I change my perspective. That's not something anybody else can force upon you. We can open your eyes to it or show you, but you're the one who still have to be convinced and convicted in your heart and be willing to accept that change. Do y'all like this? Listen, if you are enjoying this video so far, if you're enjoying this content, go and give me the hand emojis, give me a thumbs up, or if you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. I want your feedback, so that helps the YouTube algorithms, but I want to know that you are being impacted by this information. Now let's go and continue to go forward here. I don't plan on being before you too much longer, but if you want longer content, I can definitely do that. Now, What's stopping you? And I think I just answered that question, but I'm still asking anyway. What's stopping you from stepping into the best version of yourself right now? Not later, but right now. You say, Darius, I can't change. I can't make that type of change overnight. I didn't say that. I said, what's stopping you from being the best version of you? You say, how do I do that? I am so glad you asked. Think. I want you to imagine. I want you to take a moment. See these pictures pictures right here behind me? These are some of the pictures I've actually had. Magazine cutouts, magazine pages I tore out of magazines that I've had for some of them for years. Well, actually all of these for years. And the reason certain things didn't happen is because I changed my focus. I changed what I was looking at. I began to looking at circumstances around me that I didn't like, and that became my focus, and I began to attract more of it instead of focusing on these things. I mean, I'm talking about different places I would like to travel, golf courses I would like to play on. I'm talking about the strong financial position I want to be in, me wanting to get married one day. All of that, I have this right here. If I had kept these before me, I believe, and I had applied the principles and stayed true and stayed faithful, I believe most, if not all, would have been accomplished in my life up to this point. And since I'm aware of that, now I'm changing some things. I'm going back to when I was excited. When I was in my early teens, when I was growing up, again, I'm going to tell you my story some more later. But in short, when I was in my late teens into my early 20s, man, I was so excited about life. I was in this business, that business, because I had dreamed. Again, I was taught. I had a wisdom spoon in my mouth. I was being taught on how to live life at a high level. And so I had all this energy. I had all these expectations. I was ready. I was excited that great things was ahead for me. And I let something blow out my flame. I let life experience blow out my flame. That was my fault. Things happen beyond my control. I'm gonna hold those persons or whatever accountable to whatever level I'm supposed to hold them to. But largely, if it is to be, it's up to me. And that's what I know some of y'all have heard this before. Some of you feel that way. Some of you absolutely feel that way. So, great days are ahead if you decide it's going to be. You may not like the president in office. You may not like Elon Musk, what he's doing. You may not like what's happening in the job market or the economy, inflation, whatever the case may be. You may not like what's going on over the border or what's going on in Russia, Ukraine, all this other stuff. Be aware of what's going on, like it or not. Just be aware. But you have one life to live. Things you cannot control, take your focus off of it. And you start controlling what's going on in your life, what you can control. Sit down and think. We're in a fast pace. We've been increasing the pace of learning and flow of information and getting involved in everybody else's lives, with our phones and other devices, and watching this, binge watching this and binge watching that show, binge watching this show and these movies and stuff like that. I'm not opposed to you sitting down, taking some time to watch that to decompress or to relax or whatnot, from some of the other responsibilities in life. But you still have one life to live. You want more out of life, then you have to sow into life what you want out of it. So the choice is yours. So, let me make this point one more time real quick. I'm going to go on. I'm going to finish this so I can make sure I have part 3 of this. What if somebody told you that you have been successful all your life, but you may not have been successful all the time in the way you could have been or should have been? What would you do with that information? And that's what one of the things this video is pointing out. We're going to help you change from what you've been failing in to become more successfully. So we'll talk about this more in some other videos. Now, now let me say this. The truth is, and I have to write my notes, I have to stay on task because a talker can keep talking, and before you know it, I'm going to add stuff to the video that don't need to be part of this, and will again be a part 3. The truth is, the only difference between where you are now And where you want to be is action. And again, I'm not just going to leave it at action, but positive action. Purposeful, intentional, powerful, positive action towards that particular goal or assignment you're supposed to be on. Positive corresponding action. So, what's the one thing that you should be doing, but you keep making excuses for? I'm going to ask you that one more time. What's the one thing you know, not think, but you know you should be doing, but you keep making excuses for not doing? Identify that. Sit down. Think about it. Write it down if you don't know. Right off the top of your head, sit down, think about it, and then write it down and get to action. Make time for it because you are in control of your life. I want to encourage y'all this. I'm going to leave you with this thought. Again, leave your comments down below. I'm going to do the best I can to read as many comments as I can and to respond to them. And if I need to address anything in the next video or some other videos, I will certainly do that. I want to help you move from procrastination or stagnation or laziness or depression or stress or whatever into positive, productive action or being positively productive. I want to encourage you to know this. God won't do it for you. The devil can't stop you. And nor can anyone else stop you when you have a made up mind to achieve something. And hopefully that goal, what you want to accomplish, I want to believe everybody wants to achieve what's best for themselves, their loved ones, and or society. I know that's not true. But I hope that is your motive. I hope that's your intent. You want to live a successful life. You want to share that with your loved ones. And or you also want to be a benefit to the community, to society. What's stopping you from doing that? I want to help you move forward into that action. So keep this in mind. The only person that is in your way concerning you is you. And guess what? You can do something about it. Remember this. Maximize the moment. Jesus loves you. So do I. I will see y'all on the next one. Remember to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and set your notifications. Please share this video, share this channel if you are enjoying this content.